Okay, so in today's video, I want to show you how to build a confirmation page that gets buyers to show up, okay? Because most high-ticket businesses spend weeks improving their ads, VSL, booking page, and sales scripts. Then someone finally books a call, and this is what they see. Just a simple confirmation page saying, you're all set, check your email, and that's it. That page confirms that appointment exists, but it leaves several practical questions unanswered, which makes your prospects not show up on the call. Once they book a call, they start asking questions like, who am I meeting? What is the call actually for? What will we do during it? What should I prepare? What happens next? And is this a sales pitch? And when those answers are missing, the buyer has to work them out alone. So some buyers will still show up, some will reschedule because the call does not feel important enough to protect, some will forget what made them book, and others will attend but arrive without the information, without the right expectations for the call, or the context needed for a useful sales conversation. So the real goal of the confirmation page, instead of just saying thank you for booking, is to remove preventable uncertainty immediately after the booking while the buyer is still paying attention. So that means that we have to confirm the appointment clearly, explain why the call is worth attending, show the buyer what will happen, tell them what to prepare for the call, and answer the main questions and objections buyers have before the call. And it should give them one clear action to complete before the meeting. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to structure the confirmation page so the buyer can immediately get all the information needed and all the questions answered before they get to the call. I will show you what to say in a 3 to 5 minute video at the top of the page so the prospect understands the purpose of the call. I will show you how to choose proof that answers a real buyer doubt instead of filling the page with random testimonial screenshots. And I will also give you the complete section by section layout, sample copy for each section, and a full video script you can adopt to your own offer. And by the end of this video, you will have a confirmation page blueprint that you can use to build your confirmation page. This is mainly for high-ticket coaches, consultants, and online business owners who sell through sales calls, and you probably use a webinar, VSL, paid ads, email, or organic content to book those calls, and your offer may cost $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 or above. So in part one, we first need to understand what a booking actually proves, okay? It proves one specific thing, and that is that at one moment in time, the person had enough interest to select a date and time. And that is all you can prove from the booking itself. You cannot prove that their schedule will stay clear. You cannot prove that their interest will remain equally strong. You cannot prove that they fully understand the offer. You cannot prove that they will know what will happen on the call. And you cannot prove that they are ready to make a decision. And this distinction matters because many businesses mentally treat the booking as the end of the marketing process. They think they book the call, now the closer will handle it and close it, right? But there's still time between the booking and the conversation. And during that time, the buyer can become more prepared, but they can also become less prepared. They may look at competitors, they may read reviews, they may start thinking about the price, they may remember a bad experience with another company, they may wonder whether the call is worth the time. And none of these thoughts guarantees a no-show, but unanswered questions create additional reasons to hesitate, and the job of the confirmation page is to deal with the first layer of those questions while the person is still present and paying attention. You should immediately answer 4 things, like, did my booking work, what exactly did I book, what happens next, and what should I do now? And when those 4 answers are clear, the buyer leaves the page with direction instead of uncertainty, which is the goal. In part 2, we need to understand why the default confirmation page is actually really weak. And the default page usually handles the technical part. It confirms that the calendar event exists, which can be useful, but a high-ticket sales call carries more weight than a normal calendar meeting. And the buyer may be considering a large investment. They may need to bring business numbers. A partner may need to attend. The call may involve a serious decision, and the buyer may have concerns that appeared only after they scheduled. And a generic confirmation page treats all of that like a dentist appointment, right? They have just a date, time, link, and it's done, right? That creates 5 common problems. Problem number 1 is that the buyer does not know what the call is for. A label such as strategy call can mean almost anything, right? It can mean that it's just a free coaching session, that it's a qualification interview, it's a product demo, a sales pitch, a diagnosis, a planning session. And when the purpose is vague, the buyer creates their own version of the call. And your real conversation may then feel different from what they actually expected. Problem 2, they do not know what they will receive. People protect appointments that they believe have value. A vague promise such as, we will discuss your goals, gives them very little reason to protect the time. A more concrete promise is easier to evaluate. For example, we will calculate where book calls are being lost, audit what happens after booking, and map the missing assets in your pre-call process. Now, the person actually understands what the conversation will produce. Problem number 3, the business still feels faceless. The buyer may have watched a VSL or read a sales page, and then the confirmation page shows a generic calendar message. They still do not know who is waiting for them on the call, so a short video from the founder can make the appointment feel like a real conversation with a real person behind the business. Problem 4, there is no preparation. The buyer arrives without the numbers, information, or the decision makers needed for a useful conversation. Part of the call is then wasted gathering information that could have been prepared beforehand. Problem 5, there is no next action. The buyer sees the page and closes it. You had their intention, but you gave them no useful direction. And that does not mean you should fill the page with 10 buttons, 7 case studies, and a 40-minute video. It means you should give them one clear next step. Now, let's see how the full confirmation page structure should actually look like. A strong page can be built in 8 main sections. You may not need every section. The correct version depends on your offer, your buyer, and the questions that appear repeatedly on your sales calls, but that gives you a complete straight point. The order looks like this. First, we need to have a booking confirmation, then we need to have immediate next step, then we have to have a founder video, FAQ video section, relevant proof, show the call agenda and outcome, and additional information about the call. Now I will show you exactly what goes inside each one of these sections. Section 1, we have to confirm the booking immediately. So the first screen should remove all doubt that the booking worked. The buyer should see this without scrolling, so you can use some direct headlines like "You're booked, your spot is locked in, your call is confirmed." So do not use a complicated or a clever headlines that force them to think too much. They completed an action, confirm that action first, okay? And a clear information feels more professional than any other clever information. Section 2, give them one immediate next step. So after your confirmation, tell the buyer what they should do now. One action is enough, so it can look like watch this short video before we meet, or click on the video below so you can X, Y, Z. The supporting copy should say, this video explain what we will cover, what to expect, and how to get the most value from the call. The button or the video should be visible near the top. Avoid putting 3 equal calls to action next to each other. Do not ask them to watch a video, download a guide, read 4 case studies, follow you on Instagram, join a community, and complete a 20-question worksheet. When everything looks important, the buyer has to decide what matters, and many will choose nothing. So give the page one primary action. In section 3, we have to record the founder trust video, okay? So the main video does not need some cinematic production. A clean camera, a clean audio, and a direct message are usually enough. The buyer should feel that the person in the video knows they booked and is expecting the conversation. And for most funnels, the practical starting point is around 3 to 5 minutes, but that's not a universal rule. The video should be long enough to explain the call and short enough that a busy prospect can finish it. And here's the exact structure, okay? But first, let me give you a quick note. Don't just copy and paste. This is just an example. Make it unique to your specific offer. So you can pause the video here and you can go through the script. This is basically the whole script that you can use in your video on the confirmation page. So you can just pause the video and you can read this, okay? And that video does several useful jobs. It confirms that the person is waiting, it explains the purpose, it tells the buyer what they will receive, it lowers uncertainty about the format, and it gives them a small preparation task. It also sets an honest expectation that a service may be discussed without pretending that the conversation has no commercial purpose. And that honesty matters, right? Calling something a free call and then surprising the buyer with an aggressive pitch can damage a trust on the call. So you can explain the commercial part without turning the confirmation page into another sales page. Section 4, show the call agenda and the outcome. So after the video, repeat the call agenda in a format that is easy to scan. Avoid vague statements such as, we will discuss your goals and see how we can help. That does not tell the prospect what will actually happen on the call. So use specific action that match up the purpose of the call. A stronger universal version would be, during the call, we will review your current situation, clarify the result you want to achieve, identify the main problem or bottleneck holding you back, look at what you have already tried, determine the most sensible next step, and explain how we may be able to help if there's a good fit, okay? And under the agenda, explain what a prospect should understand by the end of the call. For example, by the end of the call, you will have a clearer understanding of what is causing the problem, what you should focus on next, and whether working together makes sense. That gives the call a clear purpose without promising a result that can not be guaranteed before understanding the prospect situation, and the exact agenda should be adjusted to the client's offer. For example, a fitness coach may review training, nutrition, current habits, injuries, and goals. A business coach may review revenue, offer, lead generation, sales operations, and current bottlenecks. A relationship coach may review the client's current situation, recurring patterns, desired outcome, and the type of support they need. And the rule is simple: do not write an agenda that could describe any call. Tell the prospect what will actually be reviewed, what decisions may be made, and what they should understand when the call ends. Section 6, we want to use a proof that answer a real doubt. And a common mistake here can be that people are just adding a giant wall of testimonials because testimonials are supposed to increase trust, which is completely true. But a proof is more useful when it answers a question the buyer is already asking. So suppose the buyer is wondering, will this work for a business with my call volume? So you can show a proof of a company with similar call volume as your ICP has. Suppose they're thinking, will this require changing our entire CRM? So you can show a case where the system was installed inside the client's existing tools. So make it suppose they doubt whether improving the pre-call process can change the economics. So show the before and after numbers along with the context needed to understand them. In section 7, we want to answer the most important questions that prospects might have before they get to the call. And your FAQ should come from real sales calls, real emails, DMs, and no-show feedback. And do not fill it with questions nobody asked. So review your last 20 to 50 sales conversations and write down the questions that keep appearing on the calls. And answer them on the confirmation page so people can have all the answers before they get on the call. And questions that often belong on the confirmation page may include, what will happen during the call? What will I get from the call? Is this a coaching call or a sales call? Who is this for? Who is this not for? What should I prepare? And so on. You can pause the video and go through these questions. So choose the most relevant for your offer and answer them in a video format on your confirmation page. Other questions you can put in the text format under these videos. So you can just write the question, and then in the text format, once they click, they can see the full answer. So long story short, a strong confirmation page should include a clear booking confirmation, so you can tell the prospects immediately that the call was successfully booked. For example, so you can say, you're booked, your spot is locked in, your call is confirmed. Number 2, it should have one clear next step. Tell them exactly what to do after booking. For example, watch this short video before the call so you know what to expect and how to prepare. Number three, it should have a short founder video. The video should confirm the appointment, explain what will happen during the call, set realistic expectations, explain what may happen at the end of the call, tell them what to prepare, direct them to the other actions on the page. Number four, it should have a specific call agenda so you can explain what will actually be reviewed during the call, and avoid something like we will discuss your goals and see how we can help. It's too vague, so you have to be more specific when it comes to that. Tell them what topics will be covered, what decisions may be made, and what they should understand by the end of the call. Number five, we have to explain a clear outcome from the call. For example, by the end of the call, you will understand what is causing the problem, what you should focus on next, and whether working together actually makes sense. Then we need to have a relevant proof. So use one or two case studies that answer a real concern the prospects may have. The proof should explain the client starting problem, what was changed, what improved, the time frame, and any important context on the call. Then we need to answer the important questions. So use questions that prospects generally ask before attending. For example, what will happen during the call? What will I get from the call? Is this a coaching call or a sales call? Who is this call for? What should I prepare? What happens if we are not a good fit? And so on, okay? The page should make the prospect understand three things before they leave. And this is really important. They should understand that the booking worked, that they know exactly what to expect from the call, and they know what to do before they get in the call. It should prepare them for the conversation without turning the confirmation page into another long sales page. So what should not be on the page? There are 5 things I would usually not use when it comes to confirmation page. Number 1, a second full sales pitch. So the buyer already booked, you can reinforce the value and prepare them for a call. You do not need to restart the entire VSL from the beginning. Number 2, 10 unrelated pieces of content. Do not link to your whole YouTube channel or blog, podcast, newsletter, and social profiles. Choose the one resource that best prepares them for the conversation. Number 3, long founder biographies. So the buyer needs enough context to trust the person they're meeting. They do not need a full autobiography, right? Number 4, avoid complicated homework. So ask only for information that changes the quality of the call, okay? When the buyer needs 45 minutes to prepare for a free conversation, the task can become another reason to delay. Number 5, avoid contradictory messaging. Your ad, VSL, booking page, confirmation page, emails, and sales call should describe the same offer and set compatible expectations, right? A call medication of VSL followed by aggressive confirmation copy creates a disconnected experience. And consistency does not mean repeating the same paragraph everywhere. It means preserving the same promise, process, tone, and the truth. Now, let's see how to connect your confirmation page to Calendly. So when you use Calendly on a paid plan, you can redirect the buyer to your custom confirmation page immediately after they book. I guess other calendar softwares usually have the same option, but I'm going to show for the Calendly because that's what most people use right now. Right? The current setup ad is open the event you want to edit, select more options. You can see it here. You scroll down and click the confirmation page. Under after booking, select redirect to an external site and add the URL of your custom confirmation page. Choose whether Calendly should pass event details to the page and save the event. It's simple as that, okay? Now, before your confirmation page goes live, we have to check a few things first. And that's, can the buyer immediately see that the booking succeeded? Do they understand what the call is for? Do they know what they will receive from attending? Is there one clear action to take next? Does the founder video explain the call honestly? Does the proof answer a real doubt? Does the FAQ come from real buyer questions? Does the page work properly on mobile? And does the page match the promise and tone of the VSL? Okay, so if you can answer yes to all of these questions, you will have a much better chance of getting more people to show up and converting more of those calls into clients. Right? So at this point, you have the complete structure needed to build the page yourself. The remaining challenge is deciding what your specific buyer needs to see. Your prospect may worry about price, another business may have a problem with trust, another may attract people who think the call is free coaching, another may book qualified prospects but leave them confused about the process. So using the same generic page for every offer misses those differences, right? And that is why I run 5 free one-on-one workshops each week. Before the workshop, I review your funnel and what currently happens after someone books. And on the call, we look at your actual numbers, we'll calculate your pre-call lead, we review your existing confirmation page, emails, SMS, reminders, and every other part of the system. And at the end of the call, I give you the step-by-step SOPs on how to build each part of the pre-call system, not just confirmation page, okay? There's no charge for the workshop, it's completely free, and the main purpose of the workshop is to replace guessing with a specific plan for your funnel, so you know exactly where the problem is, how much it costs you each month, and how to fix it for completely free, and I only do 5 of them per week, okay? So link is below this video, choose a time, and I'll see you there. Bye.